Good day, everyone. Our lesson for today is about water and electrolyte balance. Okay, at the end of the discussion, the student should be able to number 1, describe the body fluid composition. Number 2, explain the mechanisms controlling fluid and electrolyte movements. Number 3, identify the major anions and cations in the fluid compartments of the body. Okay, water constitute about 60 to 70% of the total body weight, so that a deprivation of water as much as 10% will result into illness, and the 20% deprivation of water may cause death. Okay, water is next to oxygen in the importance of the maintenance of life. Okay, body composes of total of 45 liters, 30 liters found within the cells and 15 liters found outside the cell. Okay, water is very significant in the overall mechanisms of our body. Okay, we have to determine the content of water to some of our vital organs. Okay, our brain consists of 75% of water. Our blood has 83% of water. Our heart has 79% of water. Our bone has 32% of water. Our muscles consist of 75% of water. The liver consists of 86% of water, and the kidney has 83% of water. Okay, moving on. Generally, there are many functions of water in our body, but we have to identify the major functions of water in our daily lives. Number 1, universal solvent. We all know that water is the universal solvent. Number 2, catalyst. Okay, many chemical reactions require water. It serves as a catalyst in many biological reactions, especially those that involve digestion, absorption, and circulation. Essential for growth. Okay, it is a vital component of the tissue, muscle, glycogen, and others, and is very essential for growth. Number 4, lubricant. Okay, water acts as a lubricant of the joint and the viscera in the abdominal cavity. Okay, body temperature regulation. It is also a regulator of the body temperature through its ability to conduct heat. Okay, how much water should a person take? Okay, water produced as an end product of metabolism amounts to approximately 40 grams per 100 calorie. Okay, kung titignan ninyo dito, okay, for a person weighing 20 pounds, okay, this person must has at least 8 ounces of water intake. And for persons weighing 40 pounds, it should be 16 ounces. Okay, for persons weighing 160 pounds, at least 8 cups or 1/2 gallons of water. Okay, for those who are weighing 240 pounds, the person must has a water intake of 96 ounces. Okay, the amount of water needed by the body must be met or may be met by a direct intake of water, water ingested as such, or from water bound with foods, and from metabolic water, which is a result of oxidation of foodstuffs in the body. Okay, so let's move with the water output. Water in body is lost in several ways. Okay, so water leaves the body via several channels such as through the skin, or as an insensible perspiration or pag nagpapawis tayo. And number 2 is through the gastrointestinal tract as a feces. Okay. Number 3, in the kidney. okay, as a form of urine. And lastly, in the lungs is a water vapor in the expired air. Okay, water may also be lost together with the electrolytes through number 1, tears, pag umiiyak. Number 2 is through stomach suctioning. Okay, number 3 is through when we are breathing. And of course, water and electrolyte loss due to vomiting. Another is when the patient or a person is bleeding, water is also losses. Okay, through perspiration pag nagpawis tayo, if we have burns or drainage from burns, and of course if we have certain discharges from the ulcer, skin diseases, and injured and burned areas. Okay, fluid requirement based on the caloric expenditures using the holiday Sagar method. Okay, for the 3 to 10 kilograms, the daily requirement is at least 100 ml per kilogram. Okay, for the 10 to 20 kilograms, okay, 1000 ml plus 50 ml per kilogram for each kilogram in excess of 10. For example, you are weighing 11 kilograms, so 1000 ml plus 50 ml of kilograms. So your daily requirement will be 1050 ml per day. Okay, for those who are weighing more than 20 kilograms, 1500 ml is the minimum plus 20 ml per kilogram for each kilogram in excess of 20 kilograms. Okay, so let's move with the abnormalities of water balance. Okay, there are two major abnormalities of water balance. Number 1 is the overhydration or water intoxication, and number 2 is the dehydration. Let's talk about the overhydration. Okay, overhydration happens when you drink too much water in a short period of time. It is also known as water intoxication or water poisoning. Cases of overhydration are about as rare as cases of dehydrations. Okay, these are the things or the conditions that you might experience if you have a over dehydration. Okay, some neurological changes like changes in the LOC or the level of consciousness. The person will experience confusion, headache, and worse seizure. For the respiratory manifestation, we have pulmonary congestions or magtutubig yung baga. For the cardiovascular, we have the bounding pulse, increase in BP, okay, then presence of S3, tachycardia. For the gastrointestinal, we have anorexia and nausea, and the patient may experience edema or dependent pitting edema. Okay, how does this occur? Okay, overhydration. Okay, when large amounts of water are lost in the body, usually caused by high environmental temperature, sodium is also lost. This phenomenon causes the brain to signal a need for increased water. If the water intake is increased without the corresponding increase in the intake of sodium, water intoxication results. Okay, workers exposed to high environmental temperatures and travelers to tropical countries not accustomed to heat may become victims of this condition and experience muscle cramps, weakness, or drop in the blood pressure. This is relieved by providing sodium in very small amount with the intake of solid. This may also arise if too much fluid is given intravenously or kung nagswero ka tapos na over mo siyang binigyan ng fluid intravenously, and if the intake of water exceeds the maximum rate of the urine flow, okay, the cell and the tissue becomes waterlogged and diluted. This may cause anorexia and vomiting, and if it occurs in the brain, it may result in convulsions, coma, and even death. Okay, the another abnormalities of water balance is of course the dehydration. Okay, so the typical symptoms of dehydrations, we have the dry mouth, thirst, okay, fatigue, dizziness, nahihilo ka, okay, concentrated ang urine, very dark urine, and of course you will experience headache. Okay, these conditions become serious if the loss is about 10% of the total body water, and fatal if the loss is from 20% to 22%. It is especially critical in babies. Very critical ang dehydration sa mga bata. Actually, madali kasi silang ma-dehydrate kasi mas maliit yung kanilang surface area or yung kanilang surface body. Okay? So, electrolytes are also lost with the water in these conditions, and the skin becomes loose and elastic. Okay, by the time a worker is thirsty, he or she is already 2 to 3% dehydrated. If you are a regular worker and if you feel thirst, okay, you are actually 2 to 3% dehydrated. So, pag nafe-feel nyo na kayo ay gusto nyo nang uminom or nauuhaw na kayo, dapat na kayong uminom ng tubig. Okay, because as I have said, if you are thirsty or you are experiencing thirsty, okay, you are about 2 to 3% dehydrated. Okay? So, what are the average daily intake and output of the water? Ideally, the intake and the output must be equal. Okay? So, for the oral fluids, we have 1,100 to 1,400 per day. Okay, for the solid foods, we have 800 to 1,000. For the metabolic water, we have 300. So, your total intake or the average daily intake must be 2,200 to 2,700 or approximately 2,500 ml per day. That's the average. Okay, the output for the sensible, for the urine output, you have output of approximately 1,200 to 1,500 ml per day, and for the intestinals you have 100 to 200. For insensible, the lungs through the water vapor, as I have said the water losses through through respiration, okay, by the water vapor. Okay, for the skin, through perspiration, so we are losing 500 to 600 ml per day, or approximately about 2,500 ml per day. Okay, that's our total output of water. Okay, so according to Slovakian proverbs, okay, pure water is the world's first and foremost medicines. Okay, why? Because it has many importance in our body. Okay, so drink at least 8 glasses of water per day and stay healthy all the time. Thank you.